So I wanted to come and share some of my thoughts this morning as I have just woken up and definitely am experiencing some processing in my mind and really having to give myself some love and support, I guess I would say. And the thing that I'm feeling is coming up for me right now is the relationship that I have with my body and my appreciation and respect for every single part of it. I really feel that as a woman going through a monthly cycle, I am like a roller coaster with how I feel about my body. And part of the month, I love my body. I love my curves. I love all my lumps and bumps. I love my lines. I love the story that it tells of everything that I've been through and how I show up as me. I don't wear makeup. I don't dye my hair. I don't have false eyelashes or get my nails done, or like, that was such a version of me that I almost used to cover up who I was. I felt I couldn't be me. I couldn't have lines or roots or whatever it may be. And then I have other times in my month, especially now whilst I'm in my luteal phase, where I feel more puffy. I feel more like I'm carrying more water weight, and I don't have the same motivation or energy to move my body in the same way. And it's almost like a bit of a vicious cycle, in the sense of like, I know what I'm experiencing and I know what I need to do in order to not experience that, but it's really difficult to do. It's really difficult to be in a situation of like, Amy, your body is incredible. I know my body's incredible. I know everything that my body's been through. I know how I carry myself. All the things that I feel at other phases in my cycle. I think a big thing for me right now is we don't have a sauna, and I use a sauna very regularly. The gym I go to also doesn't have a sauna, and I could go further into the city to use a sauna, but it's very busy in the city and it's not the easiest to navigate. We are in the process of buying a sauna because we love to have one in our home, and I know that that is really going to help with my puffiness. I know, especially when I'm in my luteal phase, that if I don't feel like I have the energy to like go and exercise and do things like that, I can just relax in the sauna. We do have a bath here, so I often have a salt bath and really allow that sweating and that detoxing, but it's really different to getting in a sauna. And yeah, I just wanted to come and share it because I think it's so important to, one, acknowledge like bodies. We're humans. What do we see on social media? Filters, edits, things that aren't real. People are sharing what they want to share. They're not sharing their everyday life, showing up in their pajamas, like just being themselves. Like, people will share what they want to share, and I'm very aware of that. But sometimes when you are on social media and you see that a lot, it can really have an impact on how you see yourself or what you're doing. And that is one thing that I do notice with me and my body image. I have actually really come away from social media. I am not using it in the way that I used to. I love doing these videos on YouTube and being able to just be so real and raw and honest about my journey and my experience, rather than having like little clips on social media that I feel doesn't portray my true message or meaning or purpose or experience. But yeah, I'm definitely going through a phase right now of just like learning to really love my body and not compare and not judge. And yeah, it's very interesting. I do notice in generations throughout families, how that can definitely be passed down, how when you're growing up around people that really care in a dangerous way about how they look and what they're eating, and you know, you shouldn't wear that and you shouldn't do this. Like, I always remember, and I'm not going to mention who, but a family member, when I stopped wearing bras, and I can speak about that another time, but the damage that bras can do to the breasts. And I don't own a bra. I have a couple of crop tops, but I don't own a bra. I haven't owned a bra in many years now. And I remember going to a family member's and they were like, "Are you not wearing a bra?" And I was like, "No, like, I'm not wearing a bra. Like, this is just me." And they were like, "You can't do that. You know, your boobs don't look like X, or you can't be showing like that, or you can't be doing like this, or people will say this," and all these other things that their own insecurities came through. And I'm just like, I'm not wearing a bra. This is how I like to be. I like to feel free. And yeah, it's just really interesting noticing patterns of what you grew up around and breaking them, not allowing them to carry you into like a place that isn't most serving for yourself. So just really reminding myself that my body, no matter the lumps and the bumps, the changes, like how incredible as a woman that we get to go through these cycles throughout the month and see our body do the job that it's supposed to be doing in its natural state. You know, I used to take the pill and would stop from having my bleeds. I would carry on the pill so I didn't have to have my bleeds. And it's like, it's just crazy to think of things that we can do to our body because of society. You know, periods are seen as something dirty and messy and all this sort of thing, and they're not. They're like incredible, powerful. Like, to have that bleed and allow your body to shed and let go of, like, you're not pregnant, this is happening, is incredible. Some women don't experience their bleeds every month. So when I'm in this phase in my cycle and I'm feeling how I'm feeling about my body, I just really remember what's coming, and knowing that I'm approaching menstruation and my body is slowing down and my hormones are different. And super empowering to know the information that I do know now, but that doesn't mean that I don't have challenges that come up. I don't have thoughts and older patterns that they're no longer serving. So really addressing them and being okay with them, not judging that I'm having these thoughts, but just seeing that they're there, being okay to speak about it, because it's not something easy to speak about, especially when you do have awareness. I have awareness of my thought patterns. I'm not naive or unaware of that. So sometimes that makes it more challenging, because I'm like, I know what I should be doing. I know what this means. I know why this is coming up at this certain time in my cycle. But yeah, just really giving myself grace and giving yourself grace if you experience this. You know, if you're more emotional, if you're a bit more judgmental of your body, if you maybe have that relationship with your body that isn't always neutral and isn't always love and empowerment, that's okay. Speak about it, understand it. Don't be afraid to share how you're feeling, because it really does allow you to then connect to that part that needs that little bit more love. Connect to that wound that needs that tender love and care.